you've got to do it like business, run it like a businessman.
Precisely.
As a business person.
Yes.
Profit, loss, make speculative investments. But of
Yes.
course, if it's educated judgment,
Yes.
then there are returns.
Of course, and you do it with the officials that you employ. The state has got access to a lot of advisors and a lot of employees who give you advice on how to progress it. And based on that advice, we progress it. Sometimes we'll get it right, sometimes we'll get it wrong. Nobody's going to get it perfect all the time. But that's the real world we are living in.
Sure.
So, but I don't run away from all the mistakes that I've made. I take ownership of it, I learn from it, and I improve on it, and I move on.
Okay. A lot of the things that PNC has and you have, you will need the public service machinery in order to achieve some of the objectives, policies that you have. The public service,
Yes.
I noticed that you have not said much about that.
Well, it needs a lot of cleaning up, and that's obvious.
How are you going to do it?
We're going to start sacking those people who are already appointed, who don't deserve to be in this position.
That's been said many times.
Well, you will see a different style this time.
Okay.
That I can guarantee you, because you have seen political appointments in key positions all around the country who do not deserve those. You have to earn your keep in life. If you have worked hard and you have qualified for it and you deserve this position, the people that you work with and people you supervise and people who work under you will respect you.
Yes, yes.
But if you have not earned it, they will not respect you. And then the entire system collapses. That's why many of the departments are not functioning. Many of the SOEs are not functioning because they can see the head of the organization is a wrong person who's occupying that. He's occupied because he's from the Prime Minister's electorate, or he's a wanted of the Prime Minister, or he's a cousin of the Prime Minister. You look at the places like the Defense Force. It's a mess. So those are institutions that we will be looking very closely right across the country, and we will put it very fairly to them.
Okay.
If you think that you do not deserve that position, you should just voluntarily resign,
Okay.
so that we don't have to go around sacking people and upsetting the entire process. But listen, we need to appoint. We've got enough experienced people around the country. After 47 years of independence, we got talented people right across the country, but we are not putting the right people to the right jobs.
Should it be privatized? There was a suggestion that it should be.
There has been some institutions that you need to privatize, but some institutions as a government, you need to have that social responsibility. When you start privatizing things, it's motivated by profit. Of course, the performance will improve, but it's motivated by profit and the service that some people who are supposed to get that service will miss out. So that is why governments have to fill that role. So when you have an obligation of delivering a health program in some remote area, sometimes it can't make money, so the privatized institutions won't deliver that. So government must step into fitting those roles. So whereas government is not profit motivated, it must be motivated towards service.
And then a educated, informed public servant
Yes.
carries all that out.
We have in our discussions at the convention and the policies that we have put out, it will be posted on the website very, very soon, or detailed policy platform of PNC, and it will clearly articulate about retraining of the policies of like in-service for teachers and public servants. We used to have that for a long, long time, but apparently it got stopped along the way. So we need to bring them every 2 years or every 3 years to upgrade them on their skills, see what's going and changes that are happening around the world in their sector. These are important upgrades and refreshments that they need to do. So we are going to revive some of those old habits that we have forgotten.
Okay. Well, one of those old habits that you want to revive is, and I want to touch on education a little bit, is the net score.
Yes. Well, we have seen the Marape government cancelling the free education in 2019. That was really a silly decision. You are putting almost 2.2 plus million kids' future at jeopardy by forcing the parents to look for school fees to pay for the school fees. So we are saying from elementary all the way up to year 12, it'll be free.
He's brought that back though, hasn't he?
He's only brought it back because of elections. You know, it's not. He's been an education minister before, but he doesn't care about the children. He doesn't care about the children. He was only interested in the investment that education was doing on infrastructure, the maintenance contracts, the contracts to build classrooms, which was mismanaged, and you know, a lot of controversy was there in the education department. Those are things that they were interested in. They don't care about the children. We, when we were in government, we brought back the standard-based education system. We did away with we changed the curriculum so that we go back to the old ways of teaching. Right. You know, John, you and I were brought up in that standard-based education system, and we didn't do too badly. So why change something that is working? Yeah. So we brought them to make sure that the focus is on English, focuses on science, focuses on maths, and those core subjects that need to drive the education thinking of a child. So elementary to year 12, we are saying upgrade the syllabus, retrain the teachers, increase the number of teachers. We have committed 1 billion kina to invest in education and health infrastructure in the country over the next 5 years. Okay. So that is a big, massive investment to build more classrooms, more facilities, so that we can teach. Okay. But going on net school, I think you again, Marape government brought this student loan scheme. We think it's very unfair that parents who are struggling to pay school fees in the first instance are asked to go and get a loan now to pay for the school fees for the kids to go to universities and colleges. So we've had a very successful net school program in the country before. We need to upgrade that, we need to expand it and make sure that that is available to every child that wants to go to university, every child that wants to go to colleges, because skilling them is very important. Just educating them as we are doing now and leaving them on the street is dangerous.
Yeah. All right. Quality is one. Today, I think our universities, quality is an area that's a lot to be desired. Do we say, hang on, we don't have the people on shore to make sure that there is quality?
Sure.
Do we need to go abroad? Let's get away from emotional nationalism in our education system.
And we don't need to nationalize key positions like the specialist lecturers that we require in universities and so forth. We don't need to be in a hurry to nationalize everything. And then we have huge gaps because most of the positions that filled by some of our people, they don't have the experience and the required qualifications to get there, but we keep on pushing them up. Yeah. We need to stop that. We need to send these people overseas to go and learn more and go and gain experience and then come back. And those are things that we have to do. And we have to start recruiting internationally. There is no shame in recruiting the best people around the world to come and teach in our universities. What is a shame about that? If we are falling behind, we must go out to the world and get the best people. And that's what we are going to do. We're going to recruit the best people to come and teach here. Teach our children so that they will learn from the best to become better and become better qualified.
Yeah, and I guess I just want to touch on this. That brings us to Australia being our closest neighbor and a country that is developed that we can look towards improving our education system here. What about Australia giving us grants, budget aid, or whatever it is? Maybe stop that and say, hang on, educate our people. Take some of our best students down there and educate them. Change the educational culture here a little bit and set some standards and pace. Yes. Would that be something that you'd look at?
Yes, there is a little bit of that happening now, but in very limited numbers. We've got to increase the numbers. You know, we have a population of 10 million. So taking 50 or 100 or 200 is not going to make a big difference. So we need to expand it to thousands. And not only to Australia, but we have to send them to England, the United States, and all the other countries that have similar laws, similar jurisdiction, similar Western style of government, Westminster style of government. Canada is another one. Yeah. And these are all partners that we already have. It's a matter of just making sure that we communicate with them, we keep on encouraging them to accept, and that our kids are some of the most talented and most willing to learn in the world. And we need to give him that opportunity.
Next,
I think that this is a very important election. Unlike elections in the past, we are approaching 50 years as an independent nation.
This program has been sponsored by the People's National Congress.